go get him again.
Welcome back to the Robes Away channel. I'm your host, Mark, and on the docket today we have an unboxing first impression video on the brand of Gucci, and this is part of the Gucci Guilty series, this one called Gucci Guilty Eau de Parfum Intense pour Femme. So that is a mouthful. The Gucci Guilty series. Now the Gucci Guilty bottles, now usually I take these bottles out of the tester boxes, but you're going to watch me unbox it, so if that's what gets you going, you're going to see it today. Usually I just get rid of the generic box and just plump the bottle here and let's go and shoot, but either way, and the thing is now, you know, as little of my fragrance knowledge is in the feminine aisle, I do remember the Gucci Guilty bottles that are not so tall, first of all. They're like this, and they're wide, and they have the big GG on them. So did they change the bottle designs? This is going to surprise me more than you, unless it's supposed to go this way. We will see. So this is my first sniff of the Gucci Guilty Pour Femme aisle. I have smelt some Gucci fragrances in the women's aisle, but not the Guilty series at all, actually. I just started delving into Gucci, what was it, PLUM, I think? Started getting into that line. So I love that I'm bringing up my repertoire, my Rolodex in the feminine aisle. I might not be the most knowledgeable in the feminine aisle, but I'll still bring you the goods. I know what I'm doing when I'm smelling these things, so I'm looking forward to sniffing this one. I'll dissect it with the best of them. So if that sounds like a reviewer that you'd like, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, much appreciated. And to all my returnees, merci beaucoup for your support, much appreciated. Thank you. So let's take a look at the note breakdown on this bad boy before I open this box, because I'm very curious now, because I just had a aha moment of the bottle design is different than what I recall on the internets. So let's take a look at the note breakdown, and we are seeing lychee. That's a popular note in the women's aisle, I've noticed. We got lots of florals as per usual. So we got maybe a fruit patchouli, as they call it in the women's aisle. It's a very popular DNA that the patchouli doesn't really have much bite. I've noticed that in the women's fragrances. They're very much they strip it of all its glory, honestly. You know, a lot of women's fragrances, I'm like, that's a patchouli? Really? Have you noticed the patchoulis in the men's aisle? Come on over. You're going to smell a patchouli. This ain't it. But again, heavy floral. We got some plum. So we got some interesting fruits in here. Released in 2022, so you know, it's a fairly decent newer release. So this Fragflex haul really gave me a lot of stuff from the 90s mostly, and early 2000s, which I don't mind. That is my bread and butter. That is stuff that I grew up on. So updating my Rolodex from the 90s to the 2000s, absolutely love it. I'm fairly weak as far as my Rolodex goes on new releases. I'm not a new releases kind of guy. I'll slowly putter into them. They're usually a couple years old before I get into them, but the nose behind this is Nathalie Gracia Seto in All-Star Perfume within our realms. Fairly good resume. So let's take a look at this bottle, and I can see it from here. This is the men's bottle. This is not what I was expecting. If I was a betting man, that was probably what I would bet that it would look like. Since when did they change the women's bottles, the Gucci Guilties, to the men's side of things? Because it looks exactly like a men's fragrance. So to the men out there, maybe this is going to smell a little manly, maybe a little unisex, and it'll fit right in with the rest of your Gucci Guilties. Unfortunately, it says Pour Femme on it. But other than that, nice gold bottle though, like all gold, all dressed in gold, eh? So let's delve into this one. Let's put it on strip first, and then we'll put it on skin and see what we got. Yeah, a little bit of weak sauce atomizer action there with the Gucci Guilty. Let's get into it. The Gucci Guilty lineup in the men's aisle. Oh, the Gucci Guilty Absolute is a stunner. Plum. The plum. Wow. That is gorgeous. Okay, so what I was talking about, Gucci Guilty Absolute in the men's aisle, that's a 10. But then there's a lot of flops on the Gucci Guilty aisle, especially the Eau de Toilette that started it all. That was horrible. This is absolutely fruity, but gorgeous. This is something I can jive with. Beautiful. So it's sweet, it's fruity, it's a little floral, yeah. A little spicy. Is there spice in here? Hello, new. A little creamy from the florals, yeah, you can get that. A little powderiness, okay. So Plum is front and center, baby. This is good stuff. This is a good plum note. To the men out there watching my female fragrance review, see, a lot of you are getting some insider knowledge here. This is gorgeous. This is a good plum note, like an extremely good plum note. Very rich plum. This is gorgeous. I really like this thing. I wasn't expecting this. Very rich plum note. There's a pinch of a powderiness. There's violet in here, right? Yeah, there's violet. So there's a little bit of powderiness. There's a vanillic sweetness in the background. You're getting a little bit of that ylang ylang in the back end. So it will give you, it's not tropical, but it'll give you that thought process of that floral, which is nicely done. Oh, well, the patchouli's coming up a little bit now. A little bit. This would actually do well. This would actually do well in the men's aisle. You take out the florals out of this thing, call it a day. Maybe put, you know, a spice here and there, maybe a little extra woods. I know there's some woods in here, vetiver, patchouli, well, there's some greenness, but there's not enough. You give it some woods. The plum in here is excellent. This would work so well in the men's aisle. Like all these kids that love these plum notes, they see a plum note in a note breakdown and they're just like, they're gushing all over it. This thing would do so, like take that note, like just call Natalie Graciaseto and say, hey, I want you to do a Gucci Guilty Intense for Men elixir with a plum note. The exact same plum note. It's not hard. Get rid of the florals and then, yeah, put some foggy dark stuff that, you know, a lot of these elixirs have in the men's aisle. Call it a day. This plum note would sell like hotcakes in the men's game. Like I'm talking hotcakes. This is a beautiful plum note. If you're ever in a store, and I don't know if this should be still in stores, 2022 release. You know, if you ever get out of the house and you're checking out, don't ignore the Gucci Guilty Intense Perfume here in the gold bottle. This plum note is gorgeous. And if you don't mind florals for the men out there, they're not, you know, the ylang ylang is, it's getting a little stronger. So that's the only thing. Like tuberose is not a heavy hitter in here. A little bit of violet, right? It's giving that powderiness, so that might scare somebody. But yeah, Gucci Guilty Intense, Gucci Guilty EDP Intense. So there might be a Gucci Guilty Intense, and now there's a Gucci Guilty EDP Intense. This one's a winner. You know, this fruit chuli kind of DNA. I don't mind it when it's done like this. This is one of those fragrances that, you know, it's not too, you know, mature. It's not too serious. Really, the X factor is the plum. Everything else is very ho-hum. I do like the ylang ylang in here that really is giving out its little nuances here with the plum, which is actually really nice to see. Yeah. Yeah, so you can find this one at fragflex.com, that's for sure. And you can use my code TFG10, you get 10% off site-wide. So you don't have to purchase this, but honestly, if you're a sucker for a good plum note, and I know a lot of people are, don't hesitate to walk over the women's aisle and just try something like this. You never know how it can surprise you. And honestly, the bottle would fit right beside your other Gucci Guilties. You can scratch off the Pour Femme here. It is in French, so maybe some people won't even know if that's your thing, that you're scared of that. But honestly, there's nothing to be scared about in here. This is beautiful. Yeah, now that you heard my take, I love to see yours in the comments below. I can't wait to see what the comments are, good, bad, and the ugly. You can agree, you can disagree with me. The only thing I could say, don't blind buy this, obviously, but it's something that I would recommend to test. Definitely, it's testable and surprising from a brand like Gucci. Gucci's very hit and miss, and hit or miss. And this one, it's not a 10 out of 10 kind of thing. It's like a one note star. And there's a lot of fragrances out there that do have the one note star, but a lot in the designer game can't even sniff a one note star. All the notes suck. So if you got one that's shining and it seems like it's sticking around, like obviously this video is not very long, but if that plum can stick around and something like the patchouli seems like it's going to be the one that's going to anchor this thing with the floral, maybe a little bit of vanilla, it might just keep my attention. So I'm looking forward to seeing what the back end is going to be on this one. But as always, a great pour fragrance will make a lasting impression. Choose your scent wisely. And for the men out there, don't be scared. Don't be scared of the woman's aisle. You might miss out on a couple gems, honestly. Thanks for watching, YouTube. Have a good one.